Good evening, friends. Today I think transmissions are being delayed. All transmissions are being delayed. I hope I am audible. Am I audible? Am I audible?
I hope I am audible.
Yes.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Hope I am audible. Let me start today. I hope I am audible. This time my talk will be in English. No problem for anyone. Yes. Sudipto. Thank you. Am I audible, Sudipto? Yes. 2 days back, 23rd September, was the birthday of Ananda Mohon Bose, the first secretary of the Indian Association, which is the first All India political party created for the purpose of the liberation of India, a fight against the British. Indian Association. He was the first secretary of this in the Indian Association. First I will tell a few lines about Ananda Mohon Bose. Then I will go for the, because this year in Bharat Sabha, that is Indian Association, we picked up the subject Ananda Mohon Bose, students movement, past and present. That was the subject. Ananda Mohon Bose, students movement, past and present. Present in the background of the junior doctors movement. Junior doctors are the trainee students in one sense. Medical students, junior doctors movement. They are students, the students movement. And the repercussions of this movement, not only in all towns of this West Bengal, which is triggered by the gang rape and murder of Dr. Abhoya when she was on duty in Arjikar Medical College campus in his own department, chest department, at night. She was on continuous duty of 36 hours. And this was just shocking to the medical community. The most shocking was how the West Bengal government mechanism tried to destroy all evidences, and finally a post-mortem at an hour not legally permissible, and kidnapping the dead body and cremating that without the permission of the parents. This was the more shocking, and the reactions all over the all towns, all over the city, towns, villages of Bengal, in other parts of this country, India, and also in other parts, corners of the globe, from Europe to North to South America, Australia, New Zealand, everywhere. And such a reaction I have never seen in my active medical career of last 50 years. And a spontaneous voice against this brutal murder and against the government activity. And this was not a political movement to start with, a spontaneous movement what I read in history, such spontaneous movement was only in 1945 December, 46 January, February, as a reaction of INA trial at Red Fort. Spontaneous all over the country, and different parts of the British Empire, particularly in South Asia, from Africa to Singapore, in all bases of British Indian Army, Navy. And as it is a student movement, medical student movement to start with, we picked up the subject Ananda Mohon Bose, students movement, past and present, because Ananda Mohon Bose is the first person in India to start students association in Bengal. He is the first man, and which culminated in anti-Bengal partition movement from 1905 to 1911, which triggered the nationalist movement all over the country. Swadeshi Andolan, nationalist movement. Let me talk a little about his biography. Ananda Mohon Bose was born in 1847, 23rd September, in Kishorganj, Moymansingh. Kishorganj, Moymansingh. This Moymansingh is a land of birth of many great persons, many freedom fighters, of which we must remember the name of Trailokya Maharaj, that is Trailokya Chakraborty, revolutionary. In world history, different parts, it is written that the longest in the prison cell of the enemy, of the imperialist, is Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela, he was for 25 years in South Africa British jail. That's why he is a hero. But there is another person, which is Trailokya Maharaj, who was imprisoned in British jail in India and in Burma, 28 years in British jail, and then after partition in Pakistan for 5 years, total 34 years in jail. Such long duration in jail in the world history, no comparison. We have forgotten him. His birthplace is this Moymansingh. He was brilliant in his academic career, both in the schools and in college, Presidency College. He went to England, always topper. He went to England, Cambridge. He was tripos in mathematics and also passed barrister, the law degree there. Then he came back to Calcutta and he was a practicing barrister, then a politician, an editor, a journalist, a social worker, and a religious man of the religious movement. Very religious, this person. He was in Brahmo Samaj of Keshav Sen, then some dissension, some rebel voice, then he formed the Sadharan Brahmo Samaj. Some transition is there, and he created the first students association in Calcutta, social worker, and along with and he was elected to the Bengal Legislative Council in 1884, 90 and 95. He was married to the sister of scientist J.C. Bose, Swarnaprabha Bosu. He created in Mohon Singh Institute, which is Ananda Mohon College in Bangladesh now, and Mohon Singh City College School in Mohon Singh, and in Sibnath Shastri he created City School, then Ananda Mohon College and Bongo Mohila Vidyalaya. He with Surendranath Madhuje and others, he was instrumental in formation of Indian Association, Bharat Sabha, which was the first all India political party with the purpose of freedom movement against the British. Then I will come and then I will and then he joined Congress, and in 1899 he was All India Congress President in Madras session. He died in 1906. When Bengal was still then, he triggered the movement of anti-Bengal partition. He died before the Bengal partition undone, which was in 1911. Then I will talk to you, and I will now tell you some points. The birth of Indian Association, in which situation this Indian Association was born, because you will come to know the difference between the origin of Indian Association and origin of Congress. That should be very clear. The origin of Indian Association and origin of Congress, there is a distinct difference. One is an attempt of the Indians, other is the attempt of the British itself to design Congress. Other one, Congress production, is a British design. I am coming to that history. That should be known to all. I will an evolution in the history of birth of Indian Association, and this is well written in the volume Renaissance India, 19th century, by Dr. R.C. Majumdar. Well written. In 1843 there was an association of Indians, Bengal British India Society. Purpose was to place before the British the demands of the people. Then in October 29, 1851, another association was born. This is transition, British Indian Association, by aristocratic persons. The purpose is same, to place before the British their demands, their aspirations. Then in 1875, 25th September, Indian League by Sri Shishir Kumar Ghosh, Indian League, and very quickly it was replaced by Indian Association in July 26, 1876 by Surendranath Banerjee, and the other accompanying persons who helped him is Ananda Mohon Bose and others. And this Indian Association in 1883, and by that time it has branches all over the country, including Ceylon, in all provinces. And by 83 it had, on 83 December, on 28th, 29th and 30, it has got the All India Conference with delegates from all over the country in Calcutta. Then second National Conference of this Indian Association, Bharat Sabha, was in December 25, 26, 27 in 1885. Suddenly a news came as if a lightning from the sky that on 28th December 1885, same month, December, same time, a party has been formed in Bombay. Party's name is Congress, and the mechanism is from behind. Who is organizing this? This is Octavio Hume. Octavio Hume. Octavio Hume. Yes, Octavio Hume. And Octavio Hume, Britisher. Because, and the more mystery is, Octavio Hume was guided by the then Viceroy. I'm coming to that chapter, Viceroy. And Viceroy told Octavio Hume that never to mention his name, never to mention his name, that this is the brainchild of the Viceroy. I mean coming to that chapter. I will coming to that chapter. Yes, that chapter. That from history I will show you how intelligent design, because British saw if the Indian Association marches ahead with all Indian brains, that will be a threat to the colonial interest of the British. To counter the activities of, and to stop or counter the activities of Indian Association, it is a British design to form Congress. Congress, yes. I will first read from the volume of Surendranath Banerjee. Yes, that is page 137 of Nation in Making by Surendranath Banerjee, page 137. Page 137. Yes, 137. Yes. Surendranath Banerjee, his autobiography, A Nation in Making. It appears that while we are organizing our national conference at Calcutta, some of our friends headed by late Allen Hume had met at Madras for a similar purpose. Mr. Kashinath Telang wrote to me from Bombay requesting me to send him some notes about the past national conference held in 1883. The two conferences met about the same time, discussed similar views, and voiced the same grievances and aspiration. The one that met in Calcutta was called National Conference, and the other, which assembled in Bombay, the Indian National Congress. Henceforth, those who worked with us joined the Congress and heartily cooperated with that. And can you imagine? Surendranath Banerjee is hesitant to write why they destroyed their own identity, which was created by so much labor, intellectual and physical, their own association. Why they joined Congress created by British design? What was their compulsion? Surendranath Banerjee is hesitant. But this area is disclosed by the historian of modern history of India, Professor R.C. Majumdar. I am reading from R.C. Majumdar. Yes, R.C. Majumdar. What happened? R.C. Majumdar. Renaissance India, 19th century, by R.C. Majumdar. 210 and 211. 210 and 211. Yes. 210 and 211. What happened? What happened really? It is strange that even the president of the Congress, W.C. Banerjee, who lived in Calcutta, was unaware of the second session of the National Conference in Calcutta. It is equally strange that Surendranath Banerjee, who had acquired an All India fame, was left out of the new organization at the initial stage and was not aware of it till the very last moment, although the circular was issued as early as March 1885, the effect that the new body would meet in Pune from December 25 to 31. You see the history. And moreover, another thing that you how it is the brainchild of the Dufferin, Viceroy Dufferin. I am reading, the Congress is absolutely a British design. According to general view, the credit of the founding of the Indian National Congress goes to Allen Octavio Hume, a retired member of the Indian Civil Service. Fortunately, the memorandum preserved among the papers of Hume clearly lays down the reasons that induced him to conceive the idea of the Congress. He was shown 7 large volumes containing a vast number of communications from the 30,000 different reporters from different parts of India. They proved beyond doubt that men of the lowest classes all over the country were determined to do something, and that something meant violence. To counter that violence, Congress was given birth to. And you see, and this idea of Hume was actually the idea of Lord Dufferin. I am reading that area. Lord Dufferin. This is I am quoting from Umesh Chandra Banerjee. Lord Dufferin took great interest in the matter, and after considering it for some time, he sent for Mr. Hume and told him that in his opinion Mr. Hume's project would not be of much use. He said there is no body of persons in this country who performed the function which Mr. Her Majesty's opposition did in England. He warned as if Congress will be his opposition. That will be fruitful. একটা লোক দেখানো, Congress will apparently dance as opposition, pretend to be opposition to England. It would be very desirable in their interests as well as the interest of the rule that Indian politicians should meet yearly and point out to the government in that respect the administration was defective and how it would be improved. He added that an assembly such as he proposed should not be presided over by the local governor. Moreover, he warned Hume not to disclose his own name, not to disclose the name of Lord Dufferin before leading politicians in Calcutta. Lord Dufferin had made it a condition with Mr. Hume that his name should not be divulged so long as he remained in the country, remained in India. Now you see, this is the mechanism of the birth of Congress. The birth of Congress is absolutely British design. Its history is only of 1 year. On the contrary, the evolutionary history of Indian Association is more near about 50 years. And next question is, then Congress is giving birth to counter the Indian Association. action by the Indians was Indian Association, and British mechanism to counter that was the Congress. Clear? And then what? Then why all the friends, including Suren Madujje, defacing, erasing the political identity of its own organization, All India Organization, so widely based, more based than Congress? Why they all joined Congress? Because the Suren Madujje and his friends saw that Congress is created by British himself. In any country, it is the government who is the mightiest. On Congress, it is the government British is interested. When Congress is formed, it is very difficult for them to keep surviving the Indian Association. They joined in fear, in compulsion, and gradually Indian Association erased his political identity. All joined Congress, and you see in the second All India Congress session, it was Suren Madujje who was made president, and Ananda Mohon Bose was the secretary, who became president subsequently of the Indian Association. He became All India Congress president in Madras session in 1999. See, and you see, in the earliest part of the last century, there was awakening of the people in Calcutta, around Calcutta, awakening for the freedom movement. And when the Bengal that time was the biggest province of Indian colony, politically most important, economically most important, and in world trade, it is Bengal contributed maximum in industry, agriculture, everything, trade, navigation, everything. And this awakening frightened the British. To counter that, they designed Bengal partition. I think I request you to on Bengal partition chapters of Indian Renaissance India by R.C. Majumdar. Chapters are there. Bengal partition. This is the plan of the Lord Curzon to break the mental strength of the Bengalis. He designed Bengal partition. Muslim majority East Bengal, having Assam, northern part of Bengal and East Bengal, and West Bengal, this part of West Bengal, including parts of Odisha and Bihar. That time Jharkhand included in Bihar. This part West Bengal. This is Hindu majority, that is Muslim majority. And also there is where Lord Curzon is himself telling that East Bengal Muslim majority, and here I have two wives. This I am quoting from the volume of Indian making, Suren Madujje. Hindus and Muslims. Muslims are my better wife. This is Lord Curzon. Yes, I'm quoting this. Muslims are my better wife. Yes. And they thought if they can divide the Bengalis, the Bengali mind will be weak. But what happened? This was a communal division, appeasement of the Islam. And what happened? There is a reaction against this partition, and the whole students community, youth community, and intelligentsia of this whole Bengal, they arose. They started movements in this Calcutta and around Calcutta, in the cities, in the towns, in both Bengal, east and west. They demanded undoing of the Bengal partition. And Rakhi Bandhan is one of the very Rakhi Bandhan, you know, Rakhi Bandhan, British created his own opposition. Yes, the language is in R.C. Majumdar, what is in volume. British created his own apparently own opposition, that is Congress. People will see this is the opposition, but no, this is the British design, his own design. Congress is a project of the Lord Dufferin, executed by Alan Octavio Hume. Congress is a project of the Lord Dufferin, executed by the Alan Octavio Hume. Now, Bengal partition. You know, Bengal partition. About Bengal partition. Against Bengal partition, there was the events of Rakhi Bandhan. In one event, I am seeing in the central Calcutta, around Federation Hall, Bidon Street, the Rakhi Bandhan, the assembly of Kavi Guru Rabindranath, Ananda Mohon Bose, Gurudas Bandyopadhyay, Sir Gurudas Bandyopadhyay, Ananda Mohon Bose, and Suren Barujje, and Justice Ashutosh Choudhury, Kavi Guru, Ananda Mohon Bose, Gurudas Bandyopadhyay, and Suren Barujje, all are there. Rakhi Bandhan, 16-10-1905, and this anti-partition movement continued. British then, what the British did to counter this movement, the British governor picked up the Nawab of Dhaka. Nawab of Dhaka, you know the Nawab of Dhaka name? Nawab of Dhaka? Nawab of Dhaka. And his power was elevated, funding was elevated, honor was elevated. Governor of East Bengal tried to appease him, take him to his side, but still then the movement continued. What the British government did here, with the help of this Nawab of Dhaka in Shahbag, the famous Shahbag Park in Dhaka. Shahbag is events many a times. Shahbag Park in Dhaka, Muslim League was created. Muslim League was created. Muslim League was created. First, to appease Muslims, Muslim League, and this formation of the party was funded by Nawab of Dhaka and the British governor himself. Muslim League is a British creation, and I want to remind you that time they requested Jinnah many times to join Muslim League, but up to 1920s Jinnah did not join Muslim League. Yes, Demallo Salimullah did not. Nawab of Dhaka, yes, Salimullah, yes, thank you, Salimullah. This is the and in this aspect, what I tell and also told in Bharat Sabha Hall, that there are many seculars in this Bengal who always blame Shyama Mukherjee, RSS, Hindu Mahasabha for partition of Bengal, as if this Hindu Mahasabha, RSS and Shyama Mukherjee has divided Bengal. They are the criminals of Bengal partition. The fact is, and they tell the Hindu Mahasabha was a reaction to the Hindu fundamentalists. Now you see the history. Look to the history. Muslim League was formed in 1906 in Dhaka. RSS was given birth to by Dr. Hegdewar in 1925. 19 years after the birth of Muslim League. Tell this to the seculars. Hindu Mahasabha was given birth to in 1915. About 9 years after the birth of Muslim League. Do you know who gave birth to this Hindu Mahasabha in 1915? Mohon Malabha. Much more brilliant man academically and in creativity. Much more brilliant man than Gandhi Nehru. I told in this meet in Bharat Sabha that in our freedom movement there are true great heroes, some false heroes, some really honest great heroes like Ananda Mohon Bose. Ananda Mohon Bose was a brilliant man, tripos in mathematics. C.R. Das, Madan Mohan Malabha, Subhash Chandra Bose, brilliant person. Tilak, Lajpat Rai, Bipin Chandra Pal, all brilliant persons, academically brilliant persons. On the contrary, today in the Congress festoons, what we see? The photos of Gandhi, Nehru's and these Gandhis, whose academic career data is not presentable. They are all backbenchers, not even mediocres. Subsequently, by the British mechanism, they were propped up, and real great heroes' names are erased, sidelined, or eliminated, or killed. And those who tell that Muslim League was a reaction to the Hindu fundamentalism, absolutely wrong. Muslim League was created in 1906. RSS was created 15 years after. 15 years? Yes, 19 years after the birth of Muslim League. 19 years after, and given birth to by Dr. Hegdewar, who is a product of National Medical College of Calcutta. He is the disciple of Anushilan Samiti of Bengal and doctor from National Medical College. His revolutionary training is in Bengal, academic training in Bengal, and Hindu Mahasabha is created by Madan Mohan Balabha. Remember, Madan Mohan Balabha in All India Conference was thrice All India President, and of the Congress itself was All India Congress President 3 times, and its creation is brilliant. Benares Hindu University. It was not with the help of the British. It was the creation of his own along with the nationalists. Hindu Benares Hindu University. And and the most notorious element is Khilafat resolution by Gandhi in 1920, which has created the way for Pakistan. I will not discuss it now. Now I will come to then. I have told you how the National Conference was born, its evolution, why the Congress was given birth to counter the nationalist movement. Congress is a British product, and then partition of Bengal, in reaction nationalist movement all over the country, Swadeshi Andolan all over the country, spreading up to Gujarat, Punjab, all these things. And to counter that, the Muslim League, because communalism is the counter of nationalism. Communalism is the antidote of nationalism. Again, British made. Then, I mean, coming to how much time? I will stop now. Okay, few minutes I will tell. Then you see that time, yes, of the Ananda Mohon Bose, his nationalism was he was initially a man of religious movement. Then his definition of the nationalism is cultural nationalism. Cultural nationalism, Indian culture, Bharatian culture, cultural nationalism. From here came his idea of the political nationalism. Basis is cultural nationalism. Basis is its context of partition is this. I have told you which partition? Bengal partition. I will not today discuss on the India partition. I am talking of the Bengal partition. And yes, I will tell you, the Bengal partition was an experiment in miniature for the future India partition. Because in the beginning of the last century, British came to know that one day, today or tomorrow, or after few decades, they have to leave this country. And their policy all over the world, the British policy in their colonies is divide and rule. Their policy, their mechanism. And this Bengal partition was a mini experiment in miniature for future partition of India. And they saw in this experiment what are the defects of their activity, what are the defects, what more is needed, how to refine the mechanism in future for division of India. They came to conclusion that for failure of their partition of Bengal, the root cause is from before British has not created a huge party favoring their partition. There was no political party in India favoring their partition mechanism. Then now on, they created all the political parties and placed all the leaders at the apex, on the heads of their political parties, Congress, Muslim League, and even Communist Party. Communist Party, I have told you, was purchased before the Second Great War by the British. It was taken over from Comintern to the British side. It was being, during Great War, Communist Party of India was being controlled not by Comintern but by British. See the volumes, declassified files, and all supported India partition. That's why partition of India was a smooth process by Mountbatten. At least smooth for the British, maybe very cruel, very bloody, very ghastly for the Indians, for the Bharatians. And you see, and one thing, the Ananda Mohon Bose to Jinnah, all these persons, their liberation movement was in a way of constitutional way. The way, the constitutional method to be applied for the liberation. In steps, they wanted to frame laws in the councils, in the state council and central councils, step by step, to get their demands executed step by step. They always, from Ananda Mohon Bose to Jinnah, all these persons wanted the steps of revolutionary movement in a constitutional way, the method of constitution, law making. It is C.R. Das who bridged between the two. Public forum, movement on the streets, and fight inside the councils, state councils and in central councils, in the streets by the public, to create pressure, awakening of the people and create pressure on the foreign masters, and in the councils inside, to prevent laws which is injurious to the people's interest, and to compel to form laws which is good for the people, inside the council, outside the council, on the streets. Two-way. This is C.R. Das. Both persons are nationalist, cultural, both persons national with cultural nationalism. Now I am telling the student movement. You see, that time the student youth movement during the partition days, they achieved. Karjan has to undo the partition in 1911. But one thing, in joy, excitement, our intellectuals, our youth and students saw that their desire has been fulfilled, their attempt has been successful, partition has been undone. Yes, East and West again united, reunited. But they forgot to see that behind their back a landmass has gone to Assam. Bengali speaking part has gone to Assam. A Bengali speaking huge area has gone to Bihar, Jharkhand. That was a big loss of a huge area of Bengali speaking area. The size of Bengal reduced. We forgot to look to that. That was our loss. And today you see, also today in our student movement, doctors, medical students and junior doctors movement, our junior doctors, and you see how the demands, what they demanded. Number one demand, justice for Dr. Abhaya. That is a long way. That is a long way, because primary documents, primary evidences are destroyed. Who has destroyed? It is the government police, whose head is Mamata Banerjee. Health system, whose head is Health Minister Mamata Banerjee, and above all CM is Mamata Banerjee. But this from this junior doctors movement, there came never the slogan of resign, demand of resigning the health minister, resignation of the home minister. That's the tragedy. And they demanded the punishment of the Calcutta Police Commissioner, punishment of the DC Central, DC North. None of them is punished. They have been transferred with promotion. Nothing to enjoy. Nothing to enjoy. In one way, this is not a good success, but one, in each movement something good comes out. There are many possibilities, many prospects, at least from this movement. People of this country, of this Bengal, whose voice remains suppressed for many decades, for 3 to 4 decades, in this Bengal there is no student movement. During CPM Raj, there was total autocracy of the party. There was no student movement, none could. No protest practically. Also TMC Raj, there is autocracy. There is practically a terrorist administration is going on. A terror, everywhere there is terror, there is fear. None could speak out. But in this event of the junior doctors movement, the people in the villages, in the towns, has spoken out. Practically their voice is voice against the misrule of this government. The students movement, junior doctors movement, had gained courage to the hearts of the common people of this state. That is a good avenue. It is a good result. Very difficult to suppress this. At least the world has come to know what type of government is ruling in this West Bengal. This information to the world is essential, and people has come out, has gathered courage to speak out. I hope that is though the junior doctors have been cheated, but one gain is people has gained courage in their minds to speak out. And in each movement there are triggering forces, and a situation is created in the movement with possibilities. Some possibilities die, some possibilities get fruits. They are blossomed and give results. And the students, youth, has to learn from this movement, this junior doctors movement, and also learn from history. And one thing is very mysterious still today to me. When the communist leaders and ultra left leaders joined this movement in the processions, there is no reaction. They were adjusted in these processions. But whenever, even in these processions, there are Azadi slogans, Break India group slogans. They are adjusted in these processions. But the moment there are some BJP persons tried to join these processions without flag, without their slogan, they are not allowed. There is overreaction. Overreaction. Why overreaction? Why overreaction? Why they are so allergic to BJP, Sangha Parivar, RSS, Hindu Mahasabha? Why so allergic? In their mind, they think that for this partition of Bengal, it is Shyama Prasad Mukherjee responsible. No, sorry. Your history knowledge is very wrong. If you go into the Mountbatten diaries, declassified files of Mountbatten and proceedings, during the discussions of India partition, Shyama Prasad was never discussed. Shyama has no role in partition of India. Only when partition was decided and supported by Congress, Muslim League, Congress and Communists, then the question arose in the minds of Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, where the Hindus of Bengal will go. Hindus must have a homeland. My friends, do you think, had there been united Bengal, could your relatives and you could stay in Bengal, in this East Pakistan, in Bangladesh? See the perspective. See, look to the history. And you are blaming Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, RSS, Hindu Mahasabha, and you are allergic to BJP leaders. For partition of Bengal, they are not responsible. Responsible is British design, Congress, Gandhi Nehru, and Jinnah, which is next part. Next, Jinnah in the initial part, he was more nationalist than Gandhi Nehru. And when he was compelled to leave Congress, he was insulted in Congress repeatedly by Gandhi Nehru. He left Congress, joined Muslim League. He wanted to give a good teaching to Gandhi Nehru. But the tragedy is, he did not know where to stop. He went to that extent with the help of the British that he injured not only the interest of the Hindus but also interest of the Muslims in this subcontinent. Arrogance must have a limit. Jinnah did not know where to stop his arrogance. This is the learning we have to learn from history and from this movement. Let me stop here now. Devmallo, in a top secret document, volume 6, it can be confirmed that Home Minister Maxwell 1946 offered the Communist Party leaders some lucrative secret proposal of realizing their arrested leaders and waived banning. Yes, the documents, show them, show the communists this document. And after this, on these conditions, they were released. Context of Pakistan, they must I will partition of India partition I will discuss subsequent. In a top secret document, associate top, yes, read about Dhaka. Yes, Salimullah. Good evening. Let me stop here today. Maybe some questions are unanswered. I'll cover up subsequently. Thank you for listening. If you have got some questions, you can. Oh, sir, what? Emma. Oh, sir, what is the real role of Gandhiji in Jogendranath Mandal in context of partition? Yes, that is 46, 47. I will discuss all this. Discuss Jogendranath Mandal, Gandhiji, all these things. They are the criminals of India partition. In one word, both Gandhi and Jogendranath were the criminals of India partition. Both is anti-Hindu. I will discuss on this. Thank you.